All right, thanks first grade team for joining me during our 2 weeks of fall break. I put together a writing PowerPoint professional development for us based off of the first quarter on our first graders' scores on their NWEA and our goal for the second quarter so that we are prepared for parent conferences the week we get back from break. So our agenda is that we are going to review school-wide data as well as the first grade data on writing for the first quarter and the objectives that we came up with during the first quarter. And then we're going to review student work on a narrative writing. The student work is one of our medium to high students. And then after that, we're going to discuss the next steps for quarter 2, so what our goal is for the second quarter with writing, as well as prepare for parent conferences for the end of the first quarter. And then we're going to close that up with reviewing the homework activity that I came up with for our students. So in the first quarter, at the beginning of the school year, we all got together and came up with these 3 writing objectives that we focused on during the first quarter. So they were to read and write and speak grounded in evidence, obtain, evaluate, and communicate information, obtain, synthesize, and report findings clearly and effectively in response to task and purpose. So we only spent about 20 minutes a week with writing, and we focused on these 3 objectives for the whole first quarter. So I'm going to show you the scores on the NWEA for school-wide, and then we're going to talk about what our goal is for writing and how we're going to make this more effective. So at the beginning, or at the end of the first quarter, the kids took the NWEA test, and this is in each grade. So we have kinder to 5th grade, so it's school-wide, and these numbers are based out of 90 because there's 90 students in each grade. So the number that is shown here are the number of students that did not meet the standard in writing. So in kindergarten, 53 students did not meet writing standards. In first grade, which is us, 50 students did not meet it. Second grade was 35 students. Third grade was 57. Fourth grade was 53. And sixth grade was 69 students. So as you can see, we're not the lowest, but we're also not the highest. Second grade did pretty well with only 35 students not meeting the writing standard. So this was our lowest performing standard on the NWEA compared to reading and math. So I think that we should focus on this in the second quarter, and the whole school is going to focus on writing more in depth so that our students are more effective writers. So this is from my class. I thought I'd share this. This was the reading scores for the NWEA. So as you can see, the graph shows where the students met, and for the fall, that's that black line, the bottom one, was where they needed to be to hit grade level. And then in the top black line, that's their goal to hit grade level for the end of the second quarter. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids in reading that hit grade levels. So reading is a part of the writing, so this kind of reflects how they did. We have some students that are pretty close. So do you guys feel like writing will help? The reading and writing should be our main focus for this next quarter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So this graph I'm going to show to the parents during the parent conference. Each kid will have their own, or each parent will have their own number of their students so that it's anonymous, but parents can also see the comparison of their child with the rest of the class. So let's review the narrative writing of one of our medium to high kids, and then we're going to write on the sticky note a strength and a weakness. So I'm going to read the story and tell you about it. So the kids had to think about their first day of school, and they had to write this narrative writing based off of what they remember on the first day of school, or make up a vision of what a first day of school would look like. So this person's title was Kiana's first day of school. Once upon a time, there was a new student. The student's name was Kiana. Kiana was nice, and she was a panda. All the other kids were super excited, but Kiana was shy. She walked in the classroom. Miss Moore said, "Everyone say hello to Kiana." Kiana was not shy anymore. She realized they were all friendly, too. Dogs were helping her case. This was her first day of school. The dogs were really nice. One dog's name was Tito, and the other dog's name was Mage. They became best friends, and then they went home. So I'm going to have you guys take a look at that, and then if you could write one strength and one weakness, maybe based off of the structure or what you realize on that writing. All right, do you guys want to share with the whole team what some strengths and weaknesses were that you saw?
Sure. Well, although I was very impressed with her detail, describing herself as a panda and the teacher's name, I felt that she could probably go a little bit further on the details and elaborate.
Yeah. Can you give us an example of a sentence that she was detailed on? Or maybe that was kind of detailed and she could have added more detail?
Well, when she talked about going home, she said they became best friends and then they went home. I felt that maybe she could add a little extra to kind of close the whole paragraph up with a nice bow.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Yeah, more on the weakness side though. She did great at sounding out her words, but in terms of spelling, she kind of lost it all.
Were the words
Agree.
phonetically spelled?
They were all phonetically spelled, which was a plus, but in terms of punctuation and spelling, there's some work to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she didn't add a single
Period.
punctuation mark, so
Yep.
it's one huge run-on paragraph. Yeah, one of the words that I thought was really phonetically spelt well was, where is it?
Ones,
Where's that?
other,
Oh yeah, once, she put one, so that's kind of
Raised,
cute. A
friendly.
student was pretty good. She spelled it S-T-D-E-T, which is pretty close.
excited was pretty complicated.
Mm-hmm. Friendly was pretty good. She spelled friend without the N, and then Lee, L-E-E, which is how you say E at the end of words sometimes. So on the end of this paragraph, I kind of wrote up a snippet of what I saw. So I said that the short sequence of events in this narrative was well elaborated with details. So like she did say all the other kids were super excited, which is detailed. And then it had actions. So the example of her action that she wrote about was Miss Moore said, "Everyone say hello." So saying hello was an action. And then her thoughts on it was they were really friendly. So she thought that those kids or those animals were friendly. And she used sequences of events words. So like first, she used that. And the narrative revolved around a central problem, which was really good. So it didn't really scatter everywhere. It kind of hit only one topic. With that being said, I have come up with some objectives that I thought would go well with this paper and the other students for the second quarter. So effective writers are what we want our first graders to become. So in order to be effective writers, they need to be independently generate ideas for their writing. support ideas with evidence, use multiple details to support understanding, and present clear purpose in their writing. Do you guys feel that these 4 objectives would go well for our second quarter, kind of pertain to this narrative that we just read?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So those are going to be our writing goals, as well as this is what I thought I would propose to you guys about how we should do writing instruction for the second quarter. So to change it up from 20 minutes a week to 40 minutes a week of explicit writing instruction, where we are teaching students to use a writing prompt that we provide them, a checklist, incorporate writing rough drafts, and then work on writing final drafts. And then we will use a writing checklist in the class for students to use. We'll also hang up a poster in the classroom on the wall that just reminds students of what they need to remember when writing, like capital letters, punctuation, detail, evidence, all of that stuff. And then at the end of this whole process that they finish writing a paper, they'll rate themselves on a scale from 1 to 5. So a 1 being that they totally just did not do well on the paper, and then a 5 meaning that they remembered everything on their checklist, they followed it, they wrote about what was on the prompt. So I thought that maybe we could create just a general checklist that they use every time they write, and then obviously the writing prompt will be different according to the week. How do you guys feel about changing 20 minutes to 40 minutes a week?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
So I also thought we could include a home activity for parents to do. So during parent conferences, kind of teach them about this home activity. So I kind of have it divided up into days. So they'll receive their writing packet on Friday, so they have from Friday to the next Friday. But this is just a suggestion. On Monday, they complete like a free write in the writing journal. So anything they want to write about, just to get their mind going on writing and get that process of writing down. And then on Tuesday, they're going to write to the prompt that we provide for them. And then on Wednesday, they'll work with their parents with reviewing their writing checklist and their writing, kind of edit it, peer edit together. And then on Thursday, they're going to take what them and their parents talked about from Wednesday and kind of write a final draft and have that be their final draft in their writing journal. And then on Friday, they will turn in their journal, and then they'll also receive a new writing prompt for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like we could take turns kind of coming up with a writing prompt, kind of rotate that. So then just during conferences, when we meet with parents about their progress for the first quarter, we'll also have them create and decorate their students' journals. So we'll have their composition notebooks ready for them, and their parents can decorate the front cover of it and kind of write an encouraging letter on the inside so that the students know that their parents are involved and kind of active with that. And then we'll also review the first week of the home activity and go over the expectations. So we'll have that ready for them that parent conference week, and we'll explain to them what it looks like, what they should do, and kind of have like a sample copy, like we can do one so that they know what like the best work could look like from their students. And I think that is it. So do you guys feel like this all sounds something that we could work on for the second quarter
Mm-hmm.
for our students?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.